Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the June 15th, 2021 public hearings on the Planning Commission, City of Temple Terrace Comprehensive Plan Amendments. We thank you for attending this meeting. Your comments and participation is encouraged. To minimize feedback in the audio, all participants in the meeting will be muted until it is their opportunity to speak. Planning commissioners who are virtual should raise their hand in WebEx to indicate they would like to speak. You can also send the chat to Melissa if you would prefer to be recognized that way. Please be sure to state your name at the beginning of your remarks for the benefit of the clerk. There will be an opportunity for members of the public to provide comments. You will be unmuted when it is your turn to speak. Please wait until the chair calls on you to begin speaking. State your name at the beginning of your comments and adhere to the time limits. If anyone has difficulties or is watching via HTV and would like to provide comments to be included in the record for the local government hearing, please email them to planner@plancom.org. That's PLANNER at PLANCOM.org, planner@plancom.org. For those who are not familiar with our process, the meeting will be conducted as follows. The agenda item will be introduced. Staff will give their presentation with a 15-minute time limit. The applicant will be given the opportunity to make a presentation with a 15-minute time limit. Following presentations, members of the public may address the Planning Commission when recognized by the chairman. Excuse me. Public comment will be heard for 3 minutes per person. The applicant will be afforded a 3-minute period for rebuttal or response. Planning commissioners will then ask questions. Public comment will be closed. Then upon a motion, a second and discussion, a vote will be taken. With that, I'll ask the clerk to please call roll.
Good evening. Bernstein?
Here.
Cardenas? Cardenas? Dix?
Here.
Dowdy?
Here.
Handy? Handy? Crest?
Here.
Linkus?
Here.
Marina?
Here.
Powell?
Here.
Dickerson?
This is Matthew Pleasant filling in for Amber Dickerson.
Thank you. Rodriguez? Commissioner Rodriguez? Cardenas, one more time.
Present.
Thank you. And Joseph?
Here.
Thank you. You have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, on to our first and only item tonight is action item 2A, TTCPA 2101, Comprehensive Plan Amendment for north of Harney Road, west of Davis Road, and the presenter is Mr. Mark Hudson.
Mark Hudson, Planning Commission staff. Can you hear me, Commissioner?
Yes.
And can you see my screen?
Yes.
Great. Mark Hudson, Planning Commission staff. I have one plan amendment to share with you tonight from the City of Temple Terrace. We have 3 later in the evening for the City of Plant City. This first one is TTCPA 21-01. This shows you the location of the plan amendment on a map of Temple Terrace. It's located near the confluence of Temple Terrace Highway and Harney Road in an identified major mixed-use activity center for the municipality, and you'll see that a little bit later on their vision map. This shows you the site in question. It is surrounded by the lavender dashed line. Again, you see it abuts Temple Terrace Highway to the north and Harney Road to the south, and it is just west of Davis Road. Showing in this aerial, you can see that there are some industrial warehouse uses to the north, and also a church and 3 single-family detached homes. To the east is a strip center anchored by a Winn-Dixie. To the south is a bottling plant that bottles milk and citrus products. And to the southeast, the area that you see in this aerial that is a bit dated, is the new location of Amazon distribution center, and I'll have some photographs of that for you a little bit later in the presentation. So by way of a little bit of background, this is privately initiated. It's a regular scale plan amendment coming in at a little over 53 acres. The applicant, the current land use is Hillsborough County Community Mixed Use 12, and the applicant is asked for the same land use in the city of Temple Terrace of Community Mixed Use 12. The reasoning for this is the city of Temple Terrace is in a bit better position to provide this site with utilities. And therefore, they have petitioned and are pending a voluntary annexation into the municipality. This shows you the future land use map as it stands today. You can see the lavender color of the Community Mixed Use 12 of Hillsborough County. Surrounding it to the east, west, and south are lands also in Temple Terrace or Hillsborough County with that same land use. To the north in Temple Terrace is Urban Mixed Use 20. And this shows you how the map would change if it was approved by Temple Terrace City Council. Your eyes are not playing tricks on you. It's the exact same color because it's the same land use designation that has currently just changed in the jurisdiction from Hillsborough County to Temple Terrace. I have a few aerials and some photographs of the area to give you an idea of the context of the site. As you can see, it currently is undeveloped. As I already mentioned, there's a few single-family homes that are to the north east of the site. As I already mentioned, there's some warehousing and a church to the north, a strip center with a Winn-Dixie to the east, and to the south is the bottling plant that I previously mentioned. And this shows you, I went around the site and took some photographs to give you a little bit better idea of the uses that surround this. And this, of course, is the Winn-Dixie directly to the east. This is the new Amazon distribution center to the southeast. I took this over a month ago, so I imagine they've made quite a bit more progress since this photograph was taken. But this has a land use of Temple Terrace Research Corporate Park. And this is the bottling plant that I've already mentioned on a couple of occasions that processes those milk and citrus products. To the south of Harney Road and to the west of Davis Road. This is the church to the north that I've mentioned. And this is that warehousing facility that I also mentioned to the north. And this is an example of one of the three homes that abut it also to the north. So because of the land use designations are for the most part the exact equivalent from each jurisdiction, the potential to maximum build out does not change. Currently, the site has about the potential to build out 637 dwelling units or about 1.1 million square feet of non-residential uses. And that is the equivalent whether it's in the county or Temple Terrace. The applicant is working on a concurrent rezoning for the northern portion of the property, and they did supply me these artist renderings. The northern half of the property approximately will be, is envisioned for a new medical facility from the Veterans Administration, and this is an artist rendering of that facility. This would encompass the northern half of the property. The southern half of the property, its ultimate use is still to be determined. And this shows you another artist rendering of that facility that they're working concurrently with this plan amendment with the city Temple Terrace staff to get their plan development zoning in line and in place. We did review this with consistency for with the Temple Terrace Imagine 2040 comprehensive plan. We particularly looked at policies dealing with neighborhood conservation, community development, multimodal corridors, and major activity centers. Again, Temple Terrace Highway is a multimodal corridor, been designated as such, and there is a major activity center that has been identified at the confluence of Harney Road and Temple Terrace Highway. Also, we felt it was consistent with policies related to economic development areas. The complete goals, objectives, and policies are in their entirety in your background material. We also looked at some other areas dealing with growth management, citywide redevelopment strategies, the provision of public facilities. And of course, that's one of the reasons that this plan has been brought forward, because Temple Terrace is in a bit better position to offer those utilities to the end user, annexations, and intergovernmental coordination. We did talk to their public works department, and they are in a position to be able to offer it with portable water and wastewater. Transportation analysis will be conducted, and any improvements needed will be done during the zoning process in consultation between Temple Terrace and Hillsborough County. The school district did review this if it was potentially built out with residential units, and there is school capacity to serve this site. This is the vision map of Temple Terrace that's on the right-hand side of your screen. As you can see, the area that is affected by this plan amendment is in the proximity of this mixed-use community activity center. With that, our staff recommends that the Planning Commission find Temple Terrace Plan Amendments TTCPA 21-01 from Hillsborough County Mixed Use 12 to Temple Terrace Community Mixed Use 12, consistent with the Imagine 2040 Temple Terrace Comprehensive Plan, and to forward this recommendation to Temple Terrace City Council. Give you a little idea of the timeline we're under. June 15th, of course, we're here to garner your recommendation. We have a transmittal hearing scheduled at Temple Terrace City Hall on July 6th, approximately 6 p.m. in the evening. And if they so choose to transmit to DEO, we do not have an exact date for the adoption hearing, but our staff and the city clerk will ensure that the proper notices are given to the adjacent property owners. They are trying to time this up with the zoning so both can be heard the same evening. With that, Commissioner, that completes my presentation. I stand for any questions, and I do believe the applicant's agent is present to add a few thoughts as well.
All right, thank you. Was there anyone from the public to sign up for comments on this one?
The applicant.
Oh, the applicant has a presentation?
I think they probably wanted to say something, yes.
Oh, okay. My apologies. Please go ahead.
Good evening, Commissioners. Cami Corbett with the law firm of Hill, Ward, Henderson. I represent the applicant Cullinan Properties, and I have with me this evening virtually Mr. Mike Owens from Cullinan Properties. Cullinan is the developer of those northernmost. It's actually about 19.5 acres that will be developed for it with the state-of-the-art VA medical facility, and we are really excited to bring this project forward. We do not have a separate presentation. Mr. Hudson, as always, did a very thorough job of explaining what we're requesting and why we're requesting it. And we are here to answer any questions you might have, but otherwise we would respectfully request a finding of consistency.
Thank you. All right. So now on to any potential public.
We had no one sign up for public comment.
Okay. No public comment on this item. Then I will open it up to the commissioners for questions or comments on this item. Yes, Commissioner Kress, please.
I have one quick comment from the artist's rendering. I couldn't necessarily tell the orientation of the building and which part of it sat near the main road, but it would look to me like it was just set back behind a sea of parking. And just, respectfully request that they could put the front door closest to the road so those who are walking, biking, transit, et cetera, could get there easily.
Does the applicant want to respond to that?
I just thank Commissioner Kress for her comments, and we'll be working with the city of Temple Terrace as we go through the rezoning.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Kress. Are there any more comments or questions from the commissioners on this item? Seeing no lights, no hands, I will then go ahead and close the public comment section and open it up to motions from the commissioners on this item. Commissioner Bernstein, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I would move that we find TTCPA 21-01 consistent with the goals, plans, and objectives of the Imagine 2040 Temple Terrace Comprehensive Plan and refer it on to the Temple Terrace City Council.
Second.
All right, that's a motion of consistency finding from Commissioner Bernstein, a second by Commissioner Dowdy. Is there any more conversation or discussion on this item from the commissioners? Seeing no lights and no hands online, then I will ask the clerk to do a roll call vote on this item.
Bernstein,
Yes.
Cardenas,
Yes.
Dix,
Yes.
Dowdy,
Yes.
Kress,
Yes.
Linkus,
Yes.
Marina,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Joseph.
Yes.
Motion carried 9-0.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hudson. Great presentation. That is our only item for this meeting. So with that, the Temple Terrace public hearing is now adjourned, and I will read my little spiel again here to start the Plant City hearing. Welcome everybody to the June 15th, 2021 public hearings of the Planning Commission on City of Plant City Comprehensive Plan Amendments. We thank you for attending this meeting. Your comments and participation is encouraged. To minimize feedback in the audio, all participants in the meeting will be muted until it is their opportunity to speak. Planning commissioners who are virtual should raise their hand in WebEx to indicate they would like to speak. You can also send a chat to Melissa if you would prefer to be recognized that way. Please be sure to state your name at the beginning of your remarks for the benefit of the clerk. There will be an opportunity for members of the public to provide comments. You will be unmuted when it is your turn to speak. Please wait until the chair calls on you to begin speaking. State your name at the beginning of your comments and adhere to the time limits. If anyone has difficulty or is watching via HTV and would like to provide comments to be included in the record for local government hearing, please email them to planner@plancom.org. For those of you who are not familiar with the process, the meeting will be conducted as follows. The agenda item will be introduced. Staff will give their presentation with a 15-minute time limit. The applicant will be given the opportunity to make a presentation with a 15-minute time limit. Following presentations, members of the public may address the Planning Commission when recognized by the chairman. Public comment will be heard for 3 minutes per person. The applicant will be afforded a 3-minute period for rebuttal or response. Planning commissioners will then ask questions. Public comment will be closed, and upon a motion, a second, and discussion, a vote will be taken. That introduction, I'll ask the clerk to go ahead and call roll.
Good evening. Bernstein?
Here.
Cardenas?
Here.
Dix?
Here.
Dowdy?
Here.
Handy? Kress?
Here.
Linkus?
Here.
Marina?
Here.
Powell?
Here.
Dickerson?
This is Matt Pleasant filling in for Amber.
Rodriguez? Joseph?
Here.
Thank you. You have a quorum?
Thank you. All right, on to our first item, action item 2A, PC CPA 2101. It's future land use map amendment for west of North Wilder Road, north of East Sam Allen Road, and the presenter is Krista Kelly.
Thank you. I believe you all can see the PowerPoint and hear me as well. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. This is a future land use map amendment, Plant City CPA 2101. Next slide. As you can see on the vision map, the property is identified by the gold star. It is just north of a commercial activity center. It's west of North Wilder Road and north of East Sam Allen Road. It's also within the boundary of the Northeast Master Plan for Plant City. Next slide, please. This is an aerial of the site to give you a feeling for the surrounding area. The site's outlined in pink. There is a home site and some accessory structures on the site. It was recently annexed into Plant City. The surrounding area is currently on the west side of the road, agricultural in character. As you can see, large tracts, some planted, some in pasture land. To the east, there are rural home sites on large tracts, and to the north, there's a mixture of mobile homes and single-family homes on larger lots. Next slide. This is a privately initiated amendment. It's considered a small scale because it's less than 10 acres. It's just shy of 1 acre, coming in at 0.94 acres. The property is currently designated Hillsborough County Residential 1. The applicant is requesting a change to Plant City's Residential 6. Next slide. This is the adopted future land use map. As you can see, the subject property is currently designated Residential 1. It's somewhat of an out parcel, being surrounded to the north, south, and west by property designated Residential 6, which these areas and additional lands are part of the North Park Isles planned development, which is quite large and currently undeveloped, but this was one parcel that came in late to the project and will be added to that project area. As you can see, to the east across the Wilder Road is property within unincorporated Hillsborough County designated residential 1. Next slide, please. Oops, I'm sorry. Go. Thank you. This is the proposed future land use map. Again, showing the subject property outlined with the black dots, designated residential 6, which is consistent with the properties to the north, west, and south of the site. And again, this is all part of one larger project area. Next slide. The impact of this proposed amendment would be basically to increase the potential residential unit count from 1 unit to 5 units. Next slide. Again, this is an aerial of the site. It kind of gives you a sense of a greater area surrounding the site. It becomes a little bit more dense to the north. Again, there are scattered homes to the east and agricultural lands currently to the west and south. Next slide. These are photographs at ground level looking north along North Wilder Road. Again, you can see the rural character of the area with rural home sites lining the roadway. Next slide. And again, looking south on North Wilder Road, it's very similar in character, again, with agricultural lands and rural home sites. Next slide. Staff reviewed this proposed change for consistency with the comprehensive plan and found it consistent with those sections, including the neighborhood conservation section and policies and objectives that deal with enhanced hometown charm, future growth and annexation, growth management. Next slide. The provision of public facilities and housing. As Mark stated earlier, when we list these policies, they are also provided to you in their entirety in your packets. Next slide. This amendment was distributed to other agencies for comment. We received no objections. The school district pointed out that school capacity would be addressed through the concurrency review process at a later date. Required transportation improvements will be coordinated with Hillsborough County. The city does not foresee any issues with the provision of water and wastewater, and the city did note that there aren't existing water utilities in the area, and that would be the responsibility of the developer to extend those services. Next slide. Based on these findings, Planning Commission staff recommends that PC CPA 2101 be found consistent with the goals, objectives, and policies of Imagine 2040 Plant Cities Comprehensive Plan, and that recommendation is forwarded to the Plant City Commission. That concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Oh, I'm sorry. In addition, this is the upcoming schedule for this plan amendment. It will be going to the Planning Board June 23rd, and the date for the City Commission is to be determined, as it's the intent is to run, or the preference of the board is that this amendment run concurrent with a rezoning, and that date has not been established. And that concludes my presentation. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. All right. Is there any comment signed up for this one?
We did not have anyone sign up.
Seeing none, then I will open it up to the commissioners for any comments or discussion they may have on this item.
Commissioner, if I may, I'm here for the applicant.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you had a statement. Please go ahead, Mr. Reale.
It's okay. Kevin Reale, here for the applicant, 401 East Jackson Street, Suite 2100. We don't have a presentation. The staff's report and presentation was comprehensive. I just wanted to speak up and let the commissioners know we're here and available to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. All right. Back to the commissioners. Were there any comments or discussions on the item? Not seeing any in the room. I am not seeing any hands raised or faces on the line. I don't think. No. So I will go on ahead and close public comment at this time and open it up to motions from the commissioners on this item. Commissioner Powell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to make a motion that we find PC CPA 2101 consistent with the Imagine 2040 Plant City comprehensive plan and forward this recommendation over to Plant City City Council.
All right. We have a motion by Commissioner Powell.
Second.
A second by Commissioner Kress. That's a motion of consistency finding by Commissioner Powell. A second to that motion by Commissioner Kress. Is there any more discussion from the commissioners? Not seeing any in here or online. I will ask the clerk to do a roll call vote on this item.
Bernstein,
Yes.
Cardenas,
Yes.
Dix,
Yes.
Dowdy,
Yes.
Handy, Kress,
Yes.
Linkus,
Yes.
Marina,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Joseph.
Yes.
Motion carried 9-0.
Thank you. All right. On to our next item, item 2B, PC CPA 2102. It's a future land use map amendment north of North Frontage Road, west of North Maryland Avenue, and the presenter will be Mr. Mark Hudson.
Again, Mark Hudson, Planning Commission staff. Can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Great. This is the second of three plan amendments to be reviewed and being processed for the city of Plant City. It's identified as PCCPA 21-02. This shows you the location of the plan amendment. It is in very close proximity to the interchange of North Park Road and Interstate 4, which is identified on Plant City's vision map as a major commercial activity center. More precisely, the plan amendment is located north of Interstate 4, east of Proche Street, south of East Sam Island Road, and west of North Maryland Avenue. This shows you the site that's affected by this plan amendment. It's surrounded by the lavender dashed line. It consists of 4 parcels. The most southern parcel, which abuts North Frontage Road, is already within the municipality. And the 3 northern parcels are pending voluntary annexation into the municipality. You can see currently the site is being used predominantly for agricultural uses or as vacant land, and which is similar uses to that are surrounding the site, particularly to the east, north, and west. They're predominantly composed of large lot single-family homes, agricultural lands, and vacant lands. There is a church parking lot that abuts the site on the southeast corner, also garnering access from North Frontage Road. So by way of a little bit of background, this was privately initiated. It is a regular scale plan amendment, as the one was for Temple Terrace a few moments ago. It comes in just slightly under 63 acres. The parcel that's already within Plant City has a land use classification of industrial. And the 3 northern parcels have a land use classification of Hillsborough County Residential 1. The applicant has requested Plant City Residential 12 with the goal of developing a multi-family complex at this location. This shows you the future land use map as it stands today. You can see the gray color on the southernmost parcel of the affected area. And of course, the plan amendment is surrounded by a dashed black line at the moment. And that represents Plant City Industrial. And you can see the 3 northern parcels that comprise the remainder of the plan amendment with the light green color of Hillsborough County Residential 1 allowing 1 DU per acre. For the most part surrounding the site, they have land use designations of Hillsborough County Residential 1. I will point out in particular, though, there is to the west, there is 2 parcels that most recently were approved for plan amendments by the Plant City Commission for a commercial designation to recognize this emerging commercial and industrial corridor. And you can see that directly to the west. There is an industrial parcel that is directly to the east. Again, that is owned by the church that is at that location and is currently being utilized actually for parking for that faith facility. And this shows you how the land use map would change if it was ultimately approved by the Plant City Commission, showing the darker brown color of residential 12, which allows 12 DUs per acre. So the intensification of this site would, for the most part, be about 12-fold, going from 1 unit per acre to 12 units per acre. Of course, the industrial plan category, it's on the southern parcel, does not allow the any residential uses within that classification. So to give you a little bit of idea in numbers, what the change would accomplish, the 3 northern parcels would allow 58 dwelling units, and the 1 industrial parcel would allow almost 90,000 square feet of industrial uses. And that would transition to about 755 multifamily dwelling units. So we wanted to give you a little bit of context there, and I have some aerials and some photographs. This is just another aerial of the site that has a little bit better resolution. But you can see that the site currently is in agricultural uses, has some vacant land, and surrounding the site are single-family homes on large lots, some agricultural lands. The areas that are designated for commercial, future commercial use to the west have yet to be developed. And this is just another angle of an aerial showing you the uses on site and some of the adjacent uses to the east and west. And then I took a visit to the site and took some photographs. This is the most southern parcel looking from North Frontage Road, and as you can see, it is currently vacant. And this is from North Maryland Avenue looking west, again at the plan amendment site, and you can see there were agricultural activities going on. The primary access to the site would be from North Frontage Road. I have a photograph here showing you looking east on North Frontage Road. And this is just, I've just turned around and now looking west on North Frontage Road, giving you an idea of its proximity to that facility. And also you can see obviously past the barrier wall, the interstate itself. And this is looking north on North Maryland Avenue. You can see in the distance some single family homes on both the east and west side. And this is an example of one of those homes on the west side. And a couple more of those homes on the east side of North Maryland Avenue. And this is on the west side of the other side of the development in a development called Mystic Oaks, and it's just a picture of a couple of homes in that development. So I was going to stop on this slide for a little bit to talk about our recommendation. This is the Northeast Master Plan's preferred land use scenario. And we utilize this when we get plan amendments within this area to guide our recommendations and to advise applicants of appropriate land uses to request. This area that's been designated on the Northeast Master Plan shows the most southern parcel being commercial use and the 3 northern parcels being in residential 4, which is obviously 4-fold more than what the land use that is there today, which is Hillsborough County Residential 1, but not to the density that's been requested by the applicant, which is residential 12. Now, our staff does not feel that applications for plan amendments within this area have to actually match precisely what's in the Northeast Master Plan, but we feel that they should, further the intent or show a compelling reason why they should diverge from that. And we don't feel that that has been met in this instance. We feel that a more appropriate land use request would be something similar to what is being proposed on this land use map, which recognizes the preferred land use scenario of that study. I will point out that to the north and to the west of that site, we also envision those lands transition into residential for ultimately. However, we do envision lands on the east side of North Marion Avenue eventually transitioning commercial uses to support the North Park Road corridor that is a little bit further to the east. In that regard, we felt that there were several policies that the proposal was inconsistent with. The first two dealing with enhanced hometown charm and growth management directly relate back to that preferred land use scenario and the Northeast Master Plan. The policies to the south, the policies dealing with economic growth deal with the provision of employment growth and job creation, which the Plant City Commission has historically told us that they want to preserve these commercial corridors to again generate that job creation and growth and not divert those to residential or other uses. I will say that in our analysis and noted in your study, there are policies in our plan that do support the applicant's request. Some of those dealing with locating higher density residential uses in close proximity to commercial uses to improve transportation corridors and reduce the reliance on the automobile. However, we felt on balance that there were more policies that were in conflict with and did not support the applicant's request than did support the applicant's request. We did have this reviewed by the school district. They did note there was not adequate capacity to serve the site at Knights Elementary and Plant City High Schools. I will say that this is becoming more typical for development in this area. The school district and Plant City are trying to proactively study this area and to address these issues. However, if this plan amendment was ultimately approved, they would have to go through that school concurrency process. We did have it reviewed by the Plant City Utilities Department, and they did indicate to us that there's water and wastewater capacity to serve this site if it was approved. The Plant City Planning and Zoning Division did raise concerns about the intensity of this request and if it is compatible with the surrounding areas in unincorporated Hillsborough County. Their comments are included in their entirety in the back of the document. I will say they did not outright object to it, but they did raise certain concerns. The site does not have any known wetlands or within any floodplain, so we did not receive any comments from the Environmental Protection Commission. With that, our Planning Commission staff recommends that PCCPA 21-02 be found inconsistent with the goals, objectives, and policies of the Imagine 2040 Plant City Comprehensive Plan and to forward this recommendation to the Plant City Commission. The timeline on this is a little slightly different than the previous plan amendment, as it is not a small scale, it's a regular scale plan amendment. We're here to garner your recommendation this evening. We'll be making the same presentation to the Plant City Planning Board on June 23rd. That's 8:30 in the morning at City Hall. The transmittal hearing has been scheduled for July 26th in front of the City Commission. Again, that's at City Hall at 7:30 in the evening. And if they so choose to transmit, and if we get comments back from DEO, there would be an adoption hearing sometime in the month of September of this year. And with that, Commissioner, I stand for any questions. I'll leave my screen up for the moment, but at some point I'll need to stop sharing because the applicant's agent does have a presentation that they would like to show you.
Thank you, Mr. Hudson. Would the applicant please go ahead, or the applicant's agent, please?
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
You can, great. Okay, my name is Diane Chadwick and I am a planner with Stantec. I'm here today representing Griffin Investment Properties. With me today is also land use attorney Bart Allen, and also listening in on the line is the Mahaffey Apartment Company. What you're seeing on the screen is the color rendering of the...
Diane, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We see you, we don't see the screen. Sorry.
Let me see.
Diane, just go down to the share option.
There we go. Okay. Sorry. It worked so well in practice. So let's see. Does that do it? Okay. This is what I'm trying to share. It's not.
We have a backup if you want us to bring it up for you.
Well, let me see if do you see it now?
When you click that share button, do you get another screen that allows you to click the share screen?
No. Let's go back to this. When I click this, and then let's see.
There we
How
go.
about now?
There you go.
Okay. All right. Let's start this again. My name is Diane Chadwick, and I'm a planner with Stantec, and Griffin Investments is the property owner, and I listed who was with us today. What I'm showing you here is the site rendering for the proposed apartment community. As you can see, there's a significant amount of open space and perimeter buffering to allow for appropriate transitioning and compatibility with the surrounding land uses. As some of you may be aware, Plant City does actually require concurrent processing as of towards the end of last year. When you're annexing, you do the annexation and the comprehensive plan and the plan development zoning applications all at one time, running concurrently, so that really helps the city to understand the vision for the proposed development. There we go. Mark gave you good explanation about the surrounding area, so I'll just remind you of a few things. We do have Sam Allen Road, and we have the North Park Isles project up here. You just heard about them adding additional land. That's a master plan community. We have Park Road to our east, and with the existing commercial corridor, Stingray Chevrolet, and this is the proposed hospital site. And we have Interstate 4 and the Frontage Road on our very south end. And Mark showed you some really great photographs of the heavily traveled I-4 and the raised barrier walls for that. So I think that's very critical to this discussion. We do have the existing land use of Res 1 through Hillsborough County and industrial through Plant City. But we feel the proposed Res 12 is appropriate when you consider the proximity to I-4 and its interchange and the other commercial uses. Mark spoke to you about the Northeast Master Plan and how it envisioned this area as a major commercial activity center at Park and I-4. Activity centers should include a balance of uses, not just commercial uses. We do have a significant amount of commercial. You have Stingray, the hospital site. You have a lot of interstate-oriented uses surrounding this interchange. You have Mike Samson Park down here, Hillsborough Community College here. You have about 180 acres of industrial pushing its way towards the east in this location. We believe that residential at a slightly higher density is compatible with those more intense uses. We believe it much more compatible than a Res 4 low intensity density. So, and keeping in mind that the city's Res 4 is the lowest density that they actually have. And we question that this area here is the right place for that low of a density. As you can see, the Res 6 to the north is beginning to bleed down. This is Maryland Avenue here, so it's beginning to creep down. And then, of course, we have the I-4 on the south, commercial uses on our east, with the future industrial development coming from our west. And yes, there are some lower densities surrounding us as they stand today, and we'll talk about those a little bit later. This is just an example of some compatibility issues. One of the things that was talked about was having a Res 12 adjacent to lower densities within the city. I'll just use this center as an example that This is the Century, I think it's called Century Lake apartment complex. That's probably the newest apartment development that has been done in the city. It is adjacent to low density Hillsborough County designation. This area here is where the city furniture site is going in. But however, when this project was brought forward, this was a lower density residential over on this area. So and I do want to take the moment to just say, I really want to note that the city planning staff did not object, and Mark told you that. They just said they had concerns about how do you deal with compatibility and transition of uses. And that's the beauty of the process that the city has, where you file all these applications so they can occur concurrently. So we have filed the plan development site plan, and in this case, it's not a bubble plan. It is actually a detailed site plan that mimics what you just saw on the cover page. We've met with the city to get their feedback on the PD plan. We've talked about increased landscape buffering and enhanced landscape materials, more trees, larger trees, constructing walls adjacent to lower density residential, providing greater setbacks for buildings, different orientation of buildings. I would note that a transportation study has been done, and the first draft has been delivered to the city. We haven't received it yet, but we have been told that there were no big concerns for off-site impacts at this time. We do expect requirements for operational improvements that would come with construction plans at the site. Those are typically XL, decel lanes and left turn lanes and little bits of widening here and there. We are planning to hold a neighborhood meeting to talk to the surrounding residents to get their input about the community. And of course, we'll continue our discussions to work with the city staff to address any compatibility or transitioning concerns. Mark talked to you about the Northeast Master Plan. This is the preferred land use scenario. And as you can see, a very large area of this major commercial activity center. And I would say it's important to note that the master plan was adopted in 2008. That was 13 years ago. I don't know that it's been updated since then, but I don't want to say that for sure, but I don't think it has. You'll note that, and as Mark explained, that we are expecting that the commercial uses will gravitate over to Maryland Avenue from Park Road. And again, when you start talking about this is our site here and you're gravitating commercial towards Maryland, it makes a lot more sense for this to be a higher density in this area. And if you, there's just been a lot of things that have happened in this area since the master plan was adopted. For instance, Plant City's huge success in bringing employment generating industrial uses. And although commercial was proposed at Sam Allen and Park Road, I don't believe the master plan envisioned that as a hospital site. And and in fact, I've heard it was supposed to be a Walmart or a big box type retail store. The hospital would look for a different type of housing near them. I'm sure they would like to see housing that would accommodate their professional staff. So they'd be looking for more, potentially a little higher density and higher quality. And there's also a need, we believe, in Plant City for higher quality apartment communities that can serve other people like teachers and firemen and nurses throughout. So we would bring about, now we have some high density residential and industrial areas. While area plans are a great way to envision future growth, they should also be fluid with the understanding that circumstances change over many years of growth. Policy 2.6.4 of your plan recognizes that market conditions may create a change in circumstances and the need to look at the development market to determine if some changes are warranted. Also, policy 1.3.1 states that higher density should be considered when adjacent to commercial activity centers, and I believe Mark told you that. We believe that higher density can be considered appropriate to this area. Again, the Northeast Master Plan calls for an orderly annexation and growth. In fact, your staff reminds you under policy 2.6.4 that the long-term goal of the Northeast Master Plan is to develop the area into a thriving and attractive part of the city, creating a livable and appealing environment. Under that same policy, the study also recommends clustered residential. While the new industrial uses on the South Frontage Road is great for the city, there's the city furniture and also the Sudler property a little further east. When those land uses were changed, they took away about 100 acres from what was potentially residential development. In the Northeast plan, those sites were designated for residential. They got changed to industrial. So the city lost about 100 acres of its residential lands that it was programmed for the city's growth, and that equated to about 600 dwelling units. This request can accommodate those units by clustering them into a major activity center. So there's things to consider here. There's been a tremendous amount of new and relocated industry being brought into Plant City. Commercial growth and anticipated new growth on the Park Road corridor. You got Stingray Chevrolet, the hospital. This is a very large religious conference facility that I believe draws quite a crowd at times. So it's pretty sizable. It's not just a small church there. There's the loss of residential lands to industrial and commercial uses. Market studies have shown that high quality rental communities are needed in Plant City. The applicant feels that this is an appropriate use that can be considered a benefit to the major commercial activity center located here. Through site design, we can assure compatibility and appropriate transition to those sites. We are requesting that you find this request consistent and that you recommend that the city of Plant City transmit the request to DEO and allow Plant City to continue their discussions with the applicant regarding the proper use of this site. And at this time, we will open ourselves up. If you have questions for myself or Bart Allen, we'd be happy to try and answer them.
Thank you. All right. Did we have anyone from the public sign up on this item? Melissa? Nope. Okay. All right. I will then open it up to the commissioners for discussion, comments, questions on this item. I am not seeing any lights in the room or Commissioner Kress, yes.
I just wonder if Commissioner Dix would feel comfortable sharing his thoughts on this, since I think he's probably most familiar with the area.
I was wondering the same thing. Commissioner Dix, there he is. Yes, please.
Well, hello, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Commissioner Kress. That was very kind of you. Happy anniversary to you, I understand. I really have a question for Mr. Hudson. Are you still on there?
Yes, I'm still here.
You know, when you were talking about the current situation on that property and comparing it with what the Northeast Master Plan had proposed for the future, I think I heard you say that some kind of increased density would likely be appropriate, with the exception of the bottom piece down there, which is commercial, next door to the church property, but that the increased density for residential would probably not, in your recommendation, reach as high as the 12 units per acre. Is that right?
That is correct. I mean, as I mentioned before, we don't envision that every single application will exactly mimic the Northeast Master Plan, but we do think it's more appropriate for more of a mixed-use development with some non-residential uses at a lower density of residential units. there may be other permit, what is recommended in Northeast Master Plan is commercial on the southern parcel and residential 4 on the 3 northern parcels. There may be some other permutations in there that would still further the intent of the Northeast Master Plan, but we felt that the applicant's proposal was too far afield from what is proposed in that analysis and that master plan.
Got it. And particularly that southern parcel where it's kind of designated for future use to be commercial. This would take that out of there completely, wouldn't it?
That's correct. If it had a residential 12 planning category, there wouldn't be the opportunity for those non-residential uses.
Okay. And, this is the first time that I had seen the site plan, and I don't know if you've seen it, so I don't want to spring this on you, but I was surprised to see that it was 3 stories, which seemed to me to be totally out of character of the neighborhood, the surrounding areas. I was even thinking 2 stories might be high, but I was surprised to see 3 stories, particularly in that rural area. And I was most particularly surprised, and I think you can appreciate me saying this because I've kind of made the comment to you many times over the years when working on developments out there, that it appeared in the site plan that I saw, and correct me if I'm wrong, but does it plan for only 1 entrance and exit to that entire apartment complex, which could be 700 some odd units?
I do not believe that's the case, but the applicant could speak more on that than I. I believe there is entrances on both North Frontage and North Maryland, but I would ask them to confirm that.
Yes, I can confirm that is the case.
Well, good. I appreciate that, and it was a small thing when I saw it on there, but I had seen it only on Maryland. And Maryland, of course, at this point is a very, very rural road, and I'm sure it'll be improved over time. But that's a huge expansion. That confirmation from Mr. Hudson, because it does make sense to me that property and that area of that property will certainly see increased density go up. But I don't know that I would concur with the proposal that it's just a slight increase in density to go from residential 1, which it is now, and I know that we'd all expect more in the future, but to jump from 1 to 12. So those are my big concerns. Are number 1, maintaining something that might be a transition to the rural area to the west, between what is going to be commercial to the east. And then the other concern is that even if you carved out that southern piece, which, my goodness, when we worked on that Northeast Master Plan, I mean, way back when, that southern piece was always intended to be commercial. I just hate to see that taken away and being put residential there. It seems out of character to that area. But even if you carved that out and had a mixed-use development, which would logically make sense, then we're back to, if you put commercial there because you go with mixed use, then you'd be back to having only 1 entrance and exit point out on Maryland. And I have that concern. I see that happening in the past, and we've had problems with Plant City with folks wanting to put a lot of units in an area, but only having 1 entrance and 1 exit for all types of both safety concerns as well as traffic concerns.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Dix. Comments. Was there any more discussion or comments from the commissioners? I don't see any lights on in the room, and I am looking for hands or faces online, not seeing any. All right, then I will go ahead, close the public comment, and open it up to motions from the commissioners on this item. Commissioner Bernstein.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Based on the discussion, I would move that we find PCCPA 21-02 inconsistent with the goals, policies, and objectives of the Imagine 2040 Plant City Comprehensive Plan, and then refer that to the Plant City Commission.
All right, we have a motion for inconsistency by Commissioner Bernstein. Do I hear a second by Commissioner Marino to that motion? So a motion of inconsistency by Commissioner Bernstein, a second to that motion by Commissioner Marino. Is there any more discussion from the commissioners? Seeing none in the room, no hands up online. I'll ask the clerk to do a roll call vote on this item.
Bernstein?
Yes.
Cardenas,
Yes.
Dix,
Yes.
Dowdy,
Yes.
Kress,
Yes.
Linkus,
Yes.
Marina,
Yes.
Powell,
No.
Joseph.
Yes.
Motion carried 8-1. Commissioner Powell voted no.
Thank you. All right. Thank you for the presentations. Thank the applicant for their time. Great
Thank you for
presentation.
your time.
And we will move on to our final item. Yes, our final item. 2C, PCCPA 2103. It's a text amendment. New plan category, Plant City Residential 16, and the presenter is Krista Kelly.
Thank you. You all can see this PowerPoint, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thanks. This is a text amendment, PCCPA 2103. Next slide. Okay, this text amendment creates a new land use category, residential 16. It was publicly initiated, and it would be included in the future land use element, plan categories, and implementation section, as well as the definition section. Next slide. This new category would allow densities between the existing adopted residential 12 category and the residential 20 category. It would allow up to 16 dwelling units per gross acre, and it would retain the same locational criteria requirements as Res 12 and Res 20, and also retain the same floor area ratio of 0.35. Thank you. Staff reviewed it for consistency as the basis of recommending this new land use category, and found it consistent with the objectives and policies under neighborhood conservation, growth management, the provision of public facilities, housing. Next slide. And found that it was consistent with those policies and objectives. And again, those items are in your packet. It was distributed for agency comment, and Plant City staff commented that no concerns were found with the proposed language and no objections were received. Next slide. Based on this, the Planning Commission staff recommends that PC CPA 2103 be found consistent with the goals, objectives, and policies of Imagine 2040 Plant City Comprehensive Plan, and that this recommendation is forwarded to the Plant City Commission. The schedule for this plan amendment is the same as the prior plan amendment, so I won't go through each date, but I am here to answer any questions you might have. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, just double checking to make sure there's no like other agency applicant or anything like that with the presentation statements.
There's no applicant or any public.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, so no public comment, no applicant. We will turn it over to the commissioners for questions, discussion on this item. Not seeing any in the room, not seeing any hands online. Close public comment, and I will open it up for motions from the commissioners. Commissioner Powell, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to make a motion that we find PCCPA 21-03 consistent, and then we would forward this recommendation over to Tam City Council.
Thank you. That's a motion.
Plant City, sorry. Plant City, sorry.
Plant City. I got you. Okay, so that's a motion by Commissioner Powell, and I see several lights on. Well, you're the only one now, so I guess it's...
I would like to second Commissioner Powell's motion.
Motion for consistency by Commissioner Powell and a second by Commissioner Bernstein. Is there any more discussion amongst the commissioners? Seeing none in the room and none online, I'll ask the clerk to do a roll call vote on this item.
Bernstein,
Yes.
Cardenas,
Yes.
Dix,
Yes.
Dowdy,
Yes.
Kress,
Yes.
Lincoln,
Yes.
Marina,
Yes.
Powell,
Yes.
Joseph.
Yes.
Motion carried 9-0.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation, Ms. Kelly. That is our last item on the agenda. So with that, meeting is adjourned. Thank everyone for their time. Have a great night.
Thank you.